everybody? Welcome to the reality of wrestling. We are so excited that you've joined us for another week of incredible action that we have here for you on The Row. Again, we want to make sure that everybody subscribes to our YouTube channel. Thank you for the over 350,000 of you. Just 18 months ago, we were at 100,000. Now we're at over 350,000. We appreciate all of you liking, sharing, and subscribing to the Reality of Wrestling channel. We have a big show for you tonight, and in our main event, we have Bryan Keith defending the Reality of Wrestling Championship against Warren Johnson. We know exactly how we've gotten there. What will the Renegades of Wrestling be doing during this match? What are we going to see? We will find out in our main event. Also, Ryan Davidson, the former Reality Wrestling Champion, is going to be taking on Tommy the Brute Bolton. And in our opening contest, Isaiah James taking on Diego De La Cruz. If Isaiah James is able to win this match for the Legion, they will have a tag team championship opportunity in the near future. All that and more here on the Reality of Wrestling. We want to thank the King of Solar Screens for making these new socially distant shows possible, and we cannot do anything that we're doing right now at The Row without him. So a big shout out to the King of Solar Screens. But without further ado, let's get to our opening contest here on the Reality of Wrestling. Well, here we go with our opening contest this week on Reality of Wrestling, and here comes the demonic collective known as Legion. There's Shawn Hendricks, who's been revived from the dead, along with Isaiah James and whatever the hell that is. Oh my God, I'm afraid. We're not even in October yet, but I feel like I'm watching a horror movie. But Legion wants to get back in the tag team championship picture. And even though we're going to be seeing a singles match this evening, you got to think if Isaiah James can pin one of the members of La Familia, a championship opportunity will be within their grasp. Here they come, the Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Jonathan Vega, Diego De La Cruz, La Familia. La Familia have worked for so long and so hard to finally reach the pinnacle of the tag team division, and they finally did it. They are the Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Champions, and I talked to both of them a little bit earlier today. I said, what can we expect from La Familia's championship run? And they said, you can expect for it never to end. The confidence of La Familia continues. You want to talk about somebody who's really coming to his own within the group of La Familia, within the tag team structure, but also as an individual. Diego De La Cruz has looked better than he ever has in the history of his career in recent months. He is locked into the next level. He is like playoff Kobe Bryant right now. He is competing at a very, 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 very high level. And Isaiah James is going to have to bring his best, his Sunday's best, if he's going to beat Diego De La Cruz. Look at the athleticism, or the athletic build, I should say, of Diego De La Cruz. He's not used this quarantine time to eat a bag of donuts, as Booker T might say. He has spent it inside the gym. And now we are back inside the World Gym Arena. Collar and elbow tie-up between these two men. Looks like Diego De La Cruz has the opening advantage here. Isaiah James trying to fight through it. And he does. Reversal there by Isaiah James. Got him in a half Nelson. Now a side headlock takeover down to the mat. Isaiah James, although he might be odd, although he might be weird, although he looks like something out of a Rob Zombie motion picture, he is very technical inside that ring. And look at that, just popping out of that head scissor. Sweep the legs cover, count of one by Isaac Bouillon. And now a reversal of fortunes. Count of one. These two just going back and forth, and look at that. Great pin attempt there, 1-2. Wow, could have gotten the sneak win. Isaiah James, and that pissed him off. A kick to the middle of the gut. Isaiah James, Irish whip into the ropes, ducking the line. does Diego de la Cruz. Almost didn't get all that head scissors, but it was enough to use his force to send Isaiah James into that corner. And now a springboard off the second rope. Beautiful, beautiful move right there by one half of the tag team champion. And you can see Jonathan Vega approves of his teammate, of his brother, of his hermano. Oh, and a big splash there to the corner. Isaiah James trying to shake that one off. Diego de la Cruz asserting his dominance so far in this match. And a big chop to the chest. Oh, good. Pulling for another one, but Isaiah James doesn't allow him. Puts him in the corner and, oh, going for his own, almost took his head off. Isaiah James full head of steam. Diego de la Cruz sent him to the apron. Isaiah James ducking it with a Matrix-like maneuver, rolling over the top rope on Diego de la Cruz. Ducked the line again. Irish whip, looking for a big leapfrog there. He gets it. Oh, and a lariat. A big clothesline, knocking one of the champions down. Two, and a kick out by Diego de la Cruz. But that's what I was talking about earlier. Do not allow the makeup, do not allow the appearance, do not allow the oddity that is Isaiah James to fool you. The man knows what he's doing when it comes to being a professional athlete, a professional wrestler. And now Diego de la Cruz in a precarious position there. I thought Isaiah might have gone for a rear naked choke, but elects to get him to a vertical base. And now these two with exchanging forearms with one another. Oh man, Diego de la Cruz trying to put some little extra on them. Both men had the same idea. Now Diego de la Cruz a little bit low there. Isaac Bouillon not in position though. Looks like it might have caught him right above where you shouldn't be hitting him. Oh, but a boot to the chin of Diego de la Cruz. Going for a bulldog, but the power of Cruz just bringing him over. 1, 2, that might be all 2.5. Wow. Expertly done by Diego. And now going up top, Sean Hendricks, though, trying to distract Isaac Bouillon. Jonathan Vega isn't having any of it, shoving him off. But that creature, pushing Diego de la Cruz off the top rope. And that might have been the break that Isaiah James needed, the outside interference to get him back into this match. But another head scissor. Wait a minute. Diego de la Cruz. Oh, beautiful there by Isaiah James. Reversal and a backbreaker. 1, 2, and 2.5. And that creature just freaking out, thinking that was a 3 count. Isaiah James thought it was a 3 count. Jonathan Vega trying to get his teammate back into this, trying to get the energy flowing in Diego de la Cruz and getting the crowd here at the World Gym Arena, the socially distanced crowd here in the World Gym Arena behind him, and it looks like it's working. Oh! Some elbows there to the left side of the ribs. Oh, but Isaiah James just grabbing him by the hair and knocking him down. Springboard off the second rope into a leg drop cover. 1, 2, 3. Oh, man. Nonchalant cover, and you see the face of displeasure on the displeasurable Isaiah James. Oh. Now some old school tactics right here. Just squeezing on the neck of Diego de la Cruz. Cutting off that oxygen to the brain, trying to make sure that his muscles can't get in motion, but not squeezing hard enough. As again, Diego de la Cruz working on that left side of his rib cage, and a big knee though by Isaiah James cutting him right off. As soon as Diego de la Cruz seems to get a little something going, Isaiah James is there, but a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. A tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Diego de la Cruz. And you can see the effects of this match are wearing on both of these men, but Cruz able to get an opportunistic bit of offense. That might be what he needed to get back in this thing. Oh, Diego de la Cruz sending Isaiah James into the second turnbuckle there in a big clothesline of his own, and then second back elbow. Oh, and a flapjack. That could be all. Can Diego get to a cover in time? 1, 2, 3. Oh man, 2 3/4 by Diego de la Cruz. And now he's thinking, what do I have to do to defeat the undead. Diego de la Cruz now measuring him up. Full head of steam. Oh! But beautiful counter there by Isaiah James. Oh my goodness. Cover. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. Isaiah James putting his feet on the second rope for leverage. Jonathan Vega saw it, knocked his feet off, and now Jonathan Vega and Sean Hendricks in a confrontation with each other. And boom, Hendricks caught the right, but a roll up here. 1, 2. Whoa, so much is going on right now. Big kick there by Isaiah James. Now picking him up in a fireman's carry position. What is he going to do with him? Oh, man, he just rolls through it. That could be all. Oh, cover. 1, 2, 3. Isaiah James has defeated Diego de la Cruz, and he has put Legion in championship contention. Legion will now have an opportunity at the Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Championships, and will the Demonic Collective bring down the Familia. And Isaiah James holding that shirt aloft, Familia, and blowing his nose in it. No respect for the tag team champions, as to be expected from Legion. Isaiah James victorious over Diego de la Cruz in our opening match here at the Row.
That looks nice, baby. Look at that.
Right there.
Ready for tonight?
Man, I'm ready. You know, tonight's a big night, fellas. You know, big opportunity on the horizon.
Hell yeah.
Hey man, you want us to pay BK a visit? You know what I'm saying?
You know, wish him a little good luck.
No, see, I don't need
You
y'all
do
to do
that?
that. I don't need y'all to do that. You know, I know BK asked for this match. You know, he wants to get some revenge, but like I said, all I see is opportunity on the horizon. You know, I beat his ass tonight, I become #1 contender. And that means I can bring that championship, the Reality of Wrestling Championship, right here to the Renegades.
I like that.
I like the sound of that. You know, we can make that very secure for the Renegades, just like you got my back. Last match with me and Zach,
Yeah.
I can make the same thing happen tonight.
No. Something I need to do on my own, but what I need you to do is make that phone call. Contact that person, that number I gave you.
You sure?
Yeah,
All right, man. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna give him contact them.
Yo, Dex, what I need you to do is, man, the post stay back here in the back. Make sure Zach don't come nowhere near the ring, all right?
All right, make that happen.
I got you.
And you come with me just in case, man. You just stay in my corner just in case.
You know
all
I
right?
got your back.
All right? Look, like I said, opportunity. It's knocking. You know, they don't want to let us in, but they got to. All right?
We're forcing in, baby.
Let's go.
Renegades, baby.
I'm gonna finish getting ready. I'll let y'all later.
All right, baby.
All right, bro.
Do your thing.
Do your thing.
Well, here he comes, Tommy the Brute Bolton. With almost a broken Matt hairstyle, but I gotta love it. Here comes Tommy Bolton, full head of steam to the ring. This man is always happy to be here. He's always excited to be inside the squared circle. He loves professional wrestling, and I can't overstate that. This man lives and breathes professional wrestling. It's all he thinks about. It's all he's wanted to do his entire life. And tonight, he's able to showcase it in front of one of the best we've ever seen. Two words to describe what we're seeing right now. The Davidson Drip, the cornerstone of this company. He might be dastardly, he might be unlikable, but when I see Ruthless Ryan Davidson, when I see the Bear, I think of the first Grand Slam champion in Reality of Wrestling history. And right now, he is the main title holder of two other companies, Hurricane Pro and Wildcat Sports and Entertainment. He is their heavyweight champion. He is the former Reality of Wrestling heavyweight champion, but he lost that title several months back to Bryan Keith, and he has not been happy since. The Davidson drip is still all over the place. And he is looking to get another shot at the Lone Ranger of the Road. And you might think that this is a mismatch on paper when you look at these two accomplishments here at Reality of Wrestling. But you can never count out Tommy Bolton, and I hope that Ryan Davidson is not counting out Tommy Bolton. Because that's something that we have seen Ryan Davidson do in the past. He counted out Bryan Keith. Here we go with the opening bell, but he counted out Bryan Keith in their championship encounter, and what happened? He lost the gold. He needs to stay focused. He needs to remain calm and look at the man who's across the ring from him and respect that man. Ryan Davidson not thrilled with what the World Gym Arena is giving him right now. And you see the confidence of the Bear, telling Tommy Bolton that he sucks. And no one in the history of this company has been better at mind games than the Bear. Ryan Davidson has been able to play everybody he's been in the ring with like a fiddle and do exactly what he wants them to do, unless he overlooks them in the same way that he did Bryan Keith. Good reversal there by Ryan Davidson. Brings Tommy Bolton over. Pinning predicament, 1, 2. Actually, a 1 count. Tommy Bolton getting the shoulder up before Ryan Davidson laughing in the face of the brute. Saying, you know what? It was that close, and I'm that much better than you ever will be. Ryan Davidson aligned himself in recent months before our shutdown with the Renegades of Wrestling. He tried to use them to get his championship back against Bryan Keith. Booker T wouldn't allow it to go down. That's what led to that big 8-man tag team match. And we saw the new leader that we'll see here a little bit later on, Warren Johnson, the man who's kind of asserted himself as the de facto leader of the Renegades. Now sweep of the legs there by Ryan Davidson. Tommy Bolton is going to go for a leapfrog. Ryan Davidson had it scouted, going for that lariat. Oh, but a big European-style uppercut knocked ruthless Ryan Davidson halfway across the ring into that turnbuckle, and he looks a little pissed off now. And now Tommy Bolton firing off with some big forearm shots. Oh, and a headbutt. A headbutt by the brute to the Bear. Reversal by Ryan Davidson, but Tommy Bolton trying to roll through. Ryan Davidson said, I'm a little bit big for that. Going for an elbow. Tommy Bolton moves out of the way, and now a lariat of his own. Going for a cover here. 1. Tech out after 1 by the Grand Slam champion. Tommy Bolton going to look for a suplex here. I don't know. The Bear weighing about north of 275 right now. Oh, big chop to the chest. Another one by Tommy Bolton. Sends him in the corner, going for a hip toss. Just not advisable. Oh, and look at that. The Bear taking advantage. Using that size, using that strength, using that ability, and more importantly, most importantly, using that experience against the still rookie upstart, Tommy Bolton. He might not be in his rookie year, but Tommy Bolton has nowhere near the breadth of experience that Ryan Davidson has. Ryan Davidson has been in this company as long as this company has been around, and he has always been at the top of the card since day number 1. So a win over Ryan Davidson tonight for Tommy Bolton would shoot him up the ranking system here at the Reality of Wrestling and get him in championship contention and just a fist drop. Jerry Lawler style. 1, 2. Kick out after 2 from Tommy Bolton. Ryan Davidson, headlock takeover. Oh, and look at that. Look at that submission maneuver. Ryan Davidson always adding new offensive weapons to his arsenal. And this is one right now. Look at the pain on Tommy Bolton's face. Just extending that left arm in a position it is not meant to be in and cranking back on his neck. But Tommy trying to fight out of it. doing a good job of getting back to a vertical base to release the pressure that he felt on his arm and his neck. And now looks like some stiff right hands to the ribs of Ryan Davidson. Isaac Bouillon didn't see it, but a couple of forearms and a clubbing blow to the back, just sending Tommy Bolton right back to where we started. Davidson, oh man, caught another fist to the face from Tommy Bolton, and there's another forearm knocking the bear back. Ryan Davidson, though, reversal by Tommy Bolton. Oh, a drop kick sending Davidson into that second turnbuckle again for the second time this match, and now Tommy Bolton's feeling it. Tommy Bolton thinks this might be my chance. Mama, I might make it tonight. Reversal, though, by the bear. Tommy Bolton, oh, look at that. Landing on his feet, blocking the chop there, Ryan Davidson. And now Tommy Bolton looking for a little springboard action, and he gets it. Diving crossbody, cover, 1, 2, and a kick out by Ryan Davidson. And Tommy Bolton thinking that could have been my chance. That could have been my shot. A la 1, 2, 3 Kid and Razor Ramon. But Tommy Bolton now looking to the heavens, and I think he's gonna need God in this match. Ryan Davidson, an electric chair position. Oh, sending Tommy Bolton into that top turnbuckle, pulling him back, and now a back suplex, beautifully done by the bear. And I don't think this is going the way that Tommy may have envisioned this match. He's hooked him for it. Davidson driver, cover. 1, 2, 3. The Grand Slam champion beats Tommy Bolton and continues his path back to Bryan Keith because he wants to get back what he still feels is his, the Reality of Wrestling Championship.
For over 13 years, the King of Solar Screens has been an industry leader, and we proudly use 100% American-made products. Home of the $55 any size, any color solar screen.
Well, what about arches?
$55.
What about circles?
$55.
What about rectangles?
$55.
Any size, any color, installed free. The King of Solar Screens, on time, every time.
Now can you dig that, sucker?
Coming up next is our main event here at Reality of Wrestling, but we want to let you know that next week we are making history here at The Row. We are going to have our first ever drive-in wrestling event. That's right, outside the World Gym Arena in the parking lot, we will be hosting our first ever drive-in event. So don't miss out, don't get shut out. As Booker T would say, it's going to be on like neck bones. But speaking of being on, up next in our main event, the Reality of Wrestling Championship is up for grabs. We will see the champion, Bryan Keith, the Cowboy, the Lone Ranger of the Road, the fastest kicks in the South, taking on the new de facto leader of the Renegades of Wrestling, Warren Johnson. That match is right now. Well, it is main event time here at the World Gym Arena on this edition of Reality of Wrestling, and there he comes. We've been talking about him for weeks. Warren Johnson, formerly of Team Fly Death, formerly a Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Champion, but he turned his back on his brothers in arms back at the Battle Lines Drawn event when he turned his back not only on Bryan Keith, not only on Booker T, but his blood brother, the man that he toured this entire nation with, Zach Mason. And since then, Warren Johnson has aligned himself with the Renegades of Wrestling, a play on the Reality of Wrestling name, and you even see a play on the logo. They are here to take over and take everything that they want. And tonight, Warren Johnson wants the Reality of Wrestling Championship, and he wants the Reality of Wrestling Champion, Bryan Keith. Warren jaw-jacking with the crowd here, but there he is. The fastest kicks in the South. The Cowboy, the Lone Ranger of the Road, the Reality of Wrestling Champion, with determination and focus in his eyes. Competing in his first contest since February. So the last time that Bryan Keith was inside of this arena, he was standing with Warren Johnson walking in. And now he's walking back into the World Gym Arena across the ring from Warren Johnson. The Reality Wrestling Champion has always been a fighting champion. Said, hey, I don't care what match I'm in. I don't care who it's against. It could be against anybody in this company. This championship will always be up for grabs because that's just how I do things. And there he is, cowboying up. As Houston legend once said, ain't nothing changed. I still represent Swisher House. Bryan Keith still representing the row. And you see Warren Johnson jaw-jacking with Bryan Keith. Bryan Keith is itching to get his hands on Warren Johnson. Not only is Bryan Keith, we know somebody else who wants to put hands on this man, and that is Zach Mason. Let's go here. Bell sounds. These two men, again, exchanging verbally before they exchange physically. And here's the thing. We're talking about Slim Thug. We're talking about some of the great rappers here in Houston's history. At one point, Chameleonaire said, jealousy got these men catching felonies. He's not the only man to say that, of course, but I think it's applicable in this situation. Big chop to the chest there by Bryan Keith. Warren Johnson, oh, and another one. Warren Johnson, the only explanation of his actions as of late was jealousy. Oh. Cover one. The only explanation for Warren Johnson's actions, though, has to be jealousy. There's nothing else that can describe why he has acted the way that he has acted. Why did he drop down and, oh, low blow Zach Mason in that match? Warren Johnson, though, despicable, jealous, sure. Athletic, incredible inside the ring, absolutely. Bryan Keith, though, his equal, in many ways his superior, because he is the man that holds the gold here in this company. Oh, wow, back elbow. I think I saw something fly out of Bryan Keith. I don't know if that was a filling, a tooth, his grill. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Looked like it may have been his mouthpiece that Warren Johnson completely knocked out. Warren Johnson wanted that back elbow. Bryan Keith, oh man, exchanged with a boot to his face. Roll through. Beautiful drop kick by the champion. Takes a moment to pause, and now, look at this. Warren Johnson rolling out to the outside in a desperation attempt to get away from Bryan Keith, who just hit a beautiful, beautiful drop kick. Now he's got him by the dreads. Oh! Warren Johnson reversing it, hanging Bryan Keith up on that top rope. Bryan Keith, head full of steam, runs into a foot. Runs into the foot of Warren Johnson. Warren Johnson measuring him up, gonna look for some springboard action. Jumping over, we've seen him do this before. Beautiful cross body by the gifted Warren Johnson. Cover 1, 2, kick out. Bryan Keith grabbing onto his left knee, looking like he's favoring it a little bit. There's Big Rich. Big Rich, the muscle here in the Renegades of Wrestling. Always conspicuous by their absence are the other members of the Renegades. Where's Rudy Garza? Where's Big Dex? Pulls him out to the middle here. Warren Johnson now going to go to work on that left knee. We saw, Bryan Keith favoring it a little bit. Warren Johnson must have picked up on that as well, because now Warren Johnson's going to target that left knee. Bryan Keith able to battle back from it, kicking Warren Johnson in the chin, knocking Warren Johnson back. Warren now catching Bryan Keith. Oh, look at that. And you see the pain on Bryan Keith's face for that left knee. Warren Johnson going straight back to work on it as soon as he possibly could. And this could be big trouble for Bryan Keith, someone who always talks about the fastest kicks in the South, someone who has to jump up and elevate for that rodeo DDT. If you do not have that left knee, if you're not able to support your own weight on your own 2 feet, it's going to be very, very hard for Bryan Keith to find a dub tonight. But a slap chop to the middle of the chest of Warren Johnson gets him a breather here, but Warren right back on the attack. We're measuring Bryan Keith with some of his own kicks. So you think you're so bad, huh? Oh, and another one. Oh, and a third. Warren Johnson, slow and methodical, but I gotta say, I love his game plan coming into this, but he can't love that. Bryan Keith, beautiful. Hooks onto it, 1, 2. Kick out after 2 from Warren Johnson. Bryan Keith able to bridge over that back suplex very, very beautifully, but it wasn't enough to hold down the leader of the Renegade. Swing and a miss. Side effect there by Bryan Keith. Didn't get all of it though. 1, 2. Kick out after 2 again by Warren Johnson. Bryan Keith trying to get this crowd here in the World Gym Arena, our socially distanced audience, to get behind him so that he can do the thing that he does best, and that's cowboy up. Seeing him lasso up Warren Johnson, but again, Warren Johnson shoving Bryan Keith back. Warren, desperation attempt, taking a pound to the outside, trying to get his thoughts back together. Bryan Keith head full of steam. Big boot there, knocking him into Rich. Now what is Bryan Keith thinking? Bryan Keith going to the outside where the numbers game isn't in his advantage. Rich there still stunned by catching Warren Johnson. Now these two men looking at one another. Bryan Keith crawling back in the ring, doesn't see Warren Johnson. Rich tried to distract him. Warren, oh man, a kick right to that left knee and out of the back of the head of Bryan Keith. That could be all. That could be all right there. 1, 2, and oh man, at the last second, Bryan Keith getting a shoulder up. Warren Johnson taking advantage of the distraction from Rich, and now he's got him in a, big corkscrew suplex right there. Warren Johnson, another cover. 1, 2, kick out after 2. You see the pain on the champion's face. Bryan Keith feeling the effects of this contest. Back of the head, his left knee. Oh man, there comes Big Dex. We talked about it a minute ago. Where are the rest of the Renegades? Dex coming out to Rich's help, and now Warren Johnson there. And oh man, we were talking about him, waiting to get his hands on that man. And now Zach Mason bringing the ever equalizer. Shot to Dex, shot to Rich. Oh no, oh my goodness. Big chair shots to the back of both men. Their spine are gonna feel that for the ages to come. And look at Zach Mason, fired up and aggressive. I have never seen this man like this in my life before. Calling out Warren Johnson. Look at Zach's eyes. He looks like a man possessed. You see the dits in the chair. Oh, and a kick to the side of the dome from Bryan Keith to Warren Johnson. Warren Johnson took his eye off the ball. And we know what's next here. Rodeo DDT. Cover. 1, 2, 3, and still the Reality of Wrestling champion, Bryan Keith. Warren Johnson took his eye off the ball, but Zach Mason hasn't taken his eyes off Warren Johnson. More aggressive than we've ever seen him. And again, this is not the last time these men are going to be in the same arena at the same time. Zach Mason has a receipt for Warren Johnson, and it's time for him to pay up. But nevertheless, Bryan Keith victorious in our main event.